Consistency is really the hardest thing when it comes to achieving any goal. So I'll give you some examples. Like, I wanted to become fluent in Spanish because I've always been really bad at languages. Like, when I was in school, I studied French, I studied Irish, I studied German, and I studied Irish for like 14 years. And when I finished the Leaving Cert, I barely scraped by with a C3 in ordinary level Irish. It was the same with German. I did higher level German, got like a D2 I think, and French I did for 1 year and was equally bad. So I had this kind of like mindset of like, okay, I'm just always going to be bad at languages. But then when I first started training and I set a goal of like rehabbing a lot of injuries that I had with like my L3, my L4, because lower back pain was like the main reason why I got into strength training back in 2012. So I set a goal of like, okay, I want to rehab my lower back pain, and I want to get it to the point where I don't have any lower back pain, get fitter, get stronger. And I noticed that when I was consistent with that for like a year, my lower back pain went. I was going to the gym like 2 or 3 times a week. This was back in 2012, before I even did my degree, so I literally had no clue what I was doing, just looking at YouTube videos, stuff like that. After a year, managed to get a lot stronger, got rid of all my lower back pain, was feeling way better, obviously a lot fitter, in better shape, mentally so much better. The mental health benefits are probably the most important. And so tying this back to languages, what I realized, like, oh, if I apply the same type of mindset I have with training with anything else, I'm pretty certain I can get really good at it. So with languages, now I basically have a 486-day streak on Duolingo, because I made my mind up. When was that? It was like September 30th, 2023. I've been thinking about it for a while. I tried to learn Spanish several times, and I was like, okay, I'm just gonna make my mind up. I'm gonna pick a specific date, and from this day forward, I'm gonna do at least one lesson on Duolingo. I'll just focus on one thing a day. So that was September 30th, 2023. I've got a 486-day streak on Duolingo now. And thankfully I've managed to get my Spanish level up to an A2. So if you're not familiar with language levels, they basically go like A1, A2, B1, B2, C1, C2. C2 is like basically as fluent as you can get without being a native speaker. So after all that time, I'm now kind of like a mid-level A2, closing in on B1. And so I broke my own limiting belief of believing that I'll never be good at languages, because I've proved to myself from being consistent every single day. And the big thing was, like I said earlier, it's not being like I've done lots of study every single day. There's been many days where I've literally just done one thing on Duolingo. I can't even think, one lesson, and I've only spent 2 or 3 minutes on Duolingo that day. But I'm not worried about that, because I'm thinking of the cumulative effect of everything that I'm doing. So if you're familiar with how compound interest works, if you have invested in an ETF, in a pension, any type of fund like that, you gain compound interest over time. And so the longer that you're doing something, the more interest that you gain. And I just apply that mindset to everything. So I'm literally just focused on the one thing every single day. And my streak with training now, I started training, going to the gym, trying to rehab my lower back pain, that kind of stuff, April 19th, 2012. And now it's, what's the date today? January 28th, 2025. So I've done at least one session or something related to strength, longevity, mobility, flexibility, some type of movement for my mental health, whether it's just going out for a walk, whatever, some type of movement, basically every week for the last, how many years is that? Like 12 and a half, coming up on 13 years. So this whole video is just to kind of hopefully help you with the mindset of consistency, that you don't have to be perfect, you don't have to do loads every day. It's just about doing one thing every day. If you're familiar with James Clear's work, he wrote Atomic Habits. And he did the maths on this. My maths are not amazing. He calculated that if you improve by 1% every day, over the course of a year, you'll be 37 times better than when you started. So if you keep that kind of mindset where you're not worrying about doing things perfectly, but you're just thinking of like, I'm going to do one thing today. So for me, my business is Coach Elan. We specialize in working with women. We help women with their nutrition, their fitness, their sleep, their self-care, their mental health, helping them to become the best versions of themselves, have longevity and great health into their future. And so the mindset that I get my clients to focus on is the exact same thing. So if you have one positive thing every day, let's say for this week, okay, maybe today you're tracking your food on MyFitnessPal. Maybe tomorrow you're doing 10,000 steps. Maybe the next day you're coming to one of the workouts that we host, like a group workout. Maybe the next day you're doing some self-care. Maybe you're going to a sauna, or you're getting a massage, so on and so forth. And when you do that every single week and you look back over a year, you'll be 37 times better. Or with a strength example, a lot of women that we work with, for example, they might start off with a plank on week 1. Maybe they can do a plank for 20 seconds. Maybe by week 4 they can do 40 seconds. By week 8 they're up to a minute. By week 8, let's say week 16, they're gone from a minute to a minute and a half. After, so what's that? That's 4 months. Maybe after 6 months, they're up from a minute and a half to a minute 45. Maybe after a full year, they've gone from a minute 45 up to 3 minutes. And it's just that consistent progress. So yeah, I think that's me kind of almost out of examples. I could give you loads of different examples, but that's basically it. I'm also applying that to jiu-jitsu as well. I literally just finished the jiu-jitsu session. That's why I'm in the car, really sweaty. Everything's literally fogging up. I'll put the windscreen wiper on the back, see if I can get rid of that. Okay, no, it's just fogging the inside. So yeah, that's really the most important thing, is just taking into account how important that consistency can be every single day over a long period of time is what's going to make the biggest thing. So if you have that, if you can get out of the quick fix mindset and you can focus on the long term, that's going to be the game changer. And yeah, I think I'll end the video there. I'm going to aim to do more long form content on YouTube, because YouTube is where I've learned the most. It's the app I use the most. I'm not a fan of TikTok or Instagram. So YouTube is the platform that I love the most. And I always love watching other people's long form content. You know, some people's videos I'll literally watch for half an hour, whatever. I'll probably keep these videos to less than 10 minutes, because I know if I watch videos that are longer than kind of 8 to 10 minutes, it's easy to lose track, and you know, you kind of blabber on a little bit. We want to cut the blabber as much as possible. So yeah, if you found that helpful, drop a comment down below. If you want to see any content in particular, let me know. If you would like to work together, if you're interested, I'll just drop a link below in the comments. There's a form there where we'll just help you figure out what your goals are for this year. We'll literally just ask you 3 or 4 questions, help you get clarity on what your goals are. And yeah, I'm going to drive home right now. Hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Chat soon.